I'm Sarah, and I am so happy you are here today. Today, we have a very fun and useful English listening practice. It is going to help you understand natural English better and speak more confidently. So, sit back, relax, and let's begin. Before we start, I want you to take a deep breath. That's right. Breathe in and out. Very good. Now, imagine you're sitting in a quiet place, maybe a room or a small cafe, listening to someone talk slowly and clearly. You do not need to worry if you don't understand every word. That's completely normal. Learning English is like taking small steps every day. One step at a time, you get better and better. Today, I want to share a story with you. This story is about a young woman named Emily. Emily is learning English just like you. She is curious, brave, and sometimes a little nervous when speaking English. But she has one special thing. She never gives up. And today, we will follow Emily's journey as she learns English in real life. You will hear her conversations, her thoughts, and the little mistakes she makes. And don't worry, I will explain everything slowly, repeat key words, and give you chances to practice. So, let's set the scene. Emily lives in a small town. She works in a cozy bookstore where the smell of books is everywhere. Every day, she meets people from different countries. Some speak English very fast. At first, Emily feels nervous. She hears words she does not know. She sometimes does not understand, and she feels a little frustrated. Have you ever felt like that? When someone speaks too fast in English, it can feel like your brain stops for a moment. That is okay. We will learn how to deal with this together. One morning, Emily wakes up and looks outside her window. The sun is shining, and birds are singing. She smiles and thinks, "Today is a good day to practice English. I will try something new." She drinks a cup of coffee and writes a small list. Speak English today. Listen carefully. Learn 3 new words. Then she leaves her house and walks to the bookstore. On her way, she meets her friend, Tom. Tom is also learning English, but he has more experience. He says, "Good morning, Emily. How are you today?" Emily smiles and says, "Good morning, Tom. I am fine, thank you. And you?" Tom laughs. "I am good too. Are you ready to speak English today?" Emily nods. "Yes. I will try my best." As they walk together, Emily notices something interesting. People are speaking English all around her, in the streets, in the cafes, in the shops. Some speak slowly, some speak fast. Emily thinks, "Wow, English is everywhere. I can learn if I listen carefully." And this is the first lesson for today. English is not just in books. English is around you in real life. You can learn by listening and watching people, even if you do not understand everything. When Emily arrives at the bookstore, she greets her manager, Mrs. Lee. Mrs. Lee is kind and friendly. She says, "Hello, Emily. Today we have many customers. Are you ready?" Emily nods again. "Yes, Mrs. Lee. I will do my best." And then the first customer arrives. The customer is a young man from another country. He speaks English very quickly. He asks Emily, "Hi, do you have the new book by John Green? I really want to read it today." Emily feels a little nervous. She wants to understand him, but the words come fast. She takes a deep breath and says, I think, yes, we have it. Let me check." She walks to the shelf and finds the book. Then she brings the book back and says slowly, "Here it is. This is the book you want." The young man smiles. "Thank you so much. You speak very well." Emily feels happy. She thinks, even if I did not understand everything, I could help. That is enough. That is progress. And this is another lesson for today. Do not worry if you do not understand every word. Focus on what you can understand and keep going. After the customer leaves, Emily takes a short break. She sits in a small corner of the bookstore and opens her notebook. She writes down new words she heard. Think, shelf, check. She repeats them slowly. Think, shelf, shelf, check, check. This is called practice. Repeating new words helps your brain remember them. You can try this too. Take a notebook, write new words, and say them aloud. It may feel a little strange at first, but it works very well. While Emily is practicing, her friend Tom comes into the bookstore. He smiles and says, "Emily, you are learning fast. I can see it." Emily laughs. "Thank you, Tom. I am trying. Sometimes it is hard, but I enjoy it." Tom nods. Yes, learning English is like climbing a small hill. At first, it is difficult, but when you reach the top, you can see far and everything feels easier. Emily thinks about Tom's words. She likes the idea. Learning English is like climbing a hill. Sometimes your legs are tired, sometimes you feel like stopping. But if you take small steps every day, you will reach the top. You will understand more, speak better, and feel confident. And this is the main idea for today. English learning is a journey. Small steps every day will bring big results. Before we continue, let's pause for a moment. I want you to repeat a few sentences with me. Repeat after me. I can learn English every day. Small steps help me improve. I will not give up. Very good. Keep practicing these sentences. They are very simple, but they are powerful. Now let's continue. Later in the day, Emily has a small problem. A customer asks her a question she does not know the answer to. The customer says, "Excuse me, do you know if this author will visit next month?" Emily thinks for a moment. She is not sure. She wants to answer politely. She says, "I'm sorry. I do not know, but I can ask my manager for you." The customer smiles. "Thank you. That is very kind." Emily feels proud. Even though she did not know everything, she helped the customer politely. This is another important lesson. It is okay to say, "I don't know." Polite English is always better than guessing. As the day goes on, Emily meets more people. Some speak slowly, some speak fast. She listens carefully, asks questions, and repeats new words in her notebook. She learns simple phrases like, "Can you help me?" "I would like," "Thank you very much." Each time she uses these phrases, she feels more confident. At the end of the day, Emily sits at the bookstore window. She watches the sunset. She thinks about her day. Today was a good day. I spoke English. I listened carefully. I learned new words. I made small progress. And she smiles. That is the final lesson for this section. Celebrate your small successes. Every little step is progress. Do not wait for perfection. English learning is about trying, listening, speaking, and enjoying the journey. Before we end this first section, I want to give you a short challenge. Listen to this story again tomorrow. Try to repeat one sentence after me. Try to write 3 new words you heard. And most importantly, remember, small steps every day bring progress. Thank you so much for listening with me today. You did an amazing job. If you enjoy practicing English like this, keep listening every day. I'm Sarah, and today we'll continue Emily's journey. If you remember from last time, Emily spent a busy day at the bookstore, learning new words and phrases and practicing polite English. She made small progress and felt proud. Today, we will see what happens when Emily meets a new friend and faces a listening challenge. Are you ready?
Great.
Let's begin. The next morning, Emily wakes up feeling excited. She remembers Tom's words about climbing a hill. Small steps every day, she says to herself. She drinks her coffee slowly and checks her notebook. Today, I will speak English with a new person, she thinks. She writes a short list of goals. Meet someone new. Ask questions. Learn 5 new words. Emily smiles. She is ready for a new adventure. After leaving her house, Emily decides to walk to the park before going to the bookstore. The park is quiet in the morning, with children playing and birds singing. Emily sits on a bench and notices a young woman reading a book nearby. The woman looks friendly and smiles at Emily. Emily thinks, maybe I can speak to her. It is a good chance to practice English. Emily takes a deep breath and says slowly, "Hello, good morning. What are you reading?" The young woman looks up and smiles. "Good morning. I'm reading a novel by Lucy Maud Montgomery. Do you know it?" Emily thinks for a moment. She does not know the author, but she wants to respond politely. "No,
I'm sorry.
I haven't read it. Is it good?" The woman nods.
Yes.
"It is very interesting. I like the story and the characters. What about you? Do you like reading?" Emily smiles and says, "Yes, I like reading too. I read books in English sometimes. It is fun, but sometimes difficult." The woman laughs softly. "I understand. English can be hard, but practice helps a lot." Emily feels happy. She thinks, this is exactly what I want, to speak English naturally and make a friend. The young woman introduces herself. "I'm Anna," she says. "I just moved here. It is my first week. Are you from this town?" Emily nods. "Yes, I live here. My name is Emily. Welcome to our town." Anna smiles again. "Thank you, Emily. It is nice to meet you." Now, Emily faces her first real listening challenge. Anna starts speaking a little faster. She talks about the town, the cafes, the library, and the bookstore. At first, Emily feels nervous. She hears some words, but many are new. Her heart beats a little faster. She thinks, "Oh no, I cannot understand everything." But Emily remembers what she learned before. Small steps. Focus on what you understand. She listens carefully and catches key words: library, bookstore, coffee, park, nice. She repeats these words quietly in her mind. Library, bookstore, coffee, park, nice. Slowly, she begins to understand the main idea. Anna is talking about places in the town and what she likes. Emily decides to ask a question. She says slowly, "Anna, do you like the library?" Anna smiles.
Yes.
"I love the library. There are many books and it is quiet. I can read and learn English there." Emily nods. "That is good. I like the library too." This is an important lesson for today. When someone speaks fast, do not panic. Listen for key words. You do not need to understand every word. Focus on the main idea. Repeat key words in your mind. Small steps help your brain understand. As they continue talking, Emily and Anna sit on the bench and share simple stories. Anna talks about her family, her favorite books, and her work. Emily listens and responds slowly, using simple English sentences. She says, "I have a brother. He likes reading too. We read together sometimes." Anna smiles. That is nice. Reading with family is fun. After a few minutes, Anna asks, "Emily, would you like to have coffee with me at the cafe?" Emily feels excited.
Yes.
"I would like that very much," she says. They stand up and walk together. On the way, Emily listens carefully. Anna speaks naturally, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. Emily repeats words in her head and tries to understand. At the cafe, they order coffee. Emily practices ordering in English. She says slowly, "I would like a small coffee, please." The barista smiles and says, "Sure. One small coffee for you." Emily feels proud. She is speaking English in real life. She is using phrases she learned. This is exactly what practice is about: trying, listening, speaking, and learning. While they drink coffee, Anna shares a small story. "Yesterday, I went to the bookstore. I wanted a book by my favorite author, but it was not there. I felt a little sad, but then I found another interesting book. I bought it, and it was very good." Emily listens carefully. She repeats keywords in her head. Bookstore favorite, not there, interesting, bought, good. Then she says, "That is nice." Sometimes when we cannot find something, we can find something else. That is good. Anna smiles. Exactly, Emily. You understood very well. After coffee, Emily and Anna walk in the park again. Emily notices new words and phrases. She writes them quietly in her notebook. Favorite, interesting, tried, understood, enjoyed. She repeats them slowly. Favorite, interesting, tried, understood, enjoyed. These words will help her next time she speaks English. Now, let's pause for a moment. Repeat after me. I can understand key words. I can focus on main ideas. I can ask questions. Very good.
Keep practicing.
These simple sentences help you remember how to deal with fast English. While sitting on the park bench, Anna asks Emily another question. Emily, do you ever watch English movies? Emily nods. Yes, sometimes. I watch with subtitles. It helps me, but sometimes I do not understand everything. Anna laughs. That is normal. Even I sometimes watch movies and cannot understand all words. You are learning, and that is important. Emily thinks about this. She realizes that listening is a skill that grows slowly. You cannot understand everything in one day. You need patience, practice, and confidence. Even small understanding is progress. And this is another lesson. Do not give up. Keep listening every day. Even 10 minutes a day makes a big difference. Before we end this section, let's do a short listening exercise. I will say a few sentences slowly, and you try to understand the main idea. Repeat after me. Anna went to the bookstore. She could not find her favorite book. She found another book. She enjoyed it very much. Very good. You can also write these sentences in your notebook. This helps your memory. Emily and Anna say goodbye after a nice morning. Emily feels happy. She thinks, today I listened carefully, spoke slowly, learned new words, and made a new friend. That is a very good day. And she smiles. This is the final lesson of Section 2. Every small conversation is an opportunity to practice. Every new friend is a chance to learn. Do not fear mistakes. Every attempt is progress. Thank you for listening with me today. You did a fantastic job. Remember, repeat key words, focus on the main idea, and try speaking slowly. I'm Sarah, and today we continue Emily's journey. If you remember from last time, Emily met a new friend, Anna, and practiced listening carefully while speaking slowly. She learned a lot and felt proud. Today, we will see what happens when Emily faces a fast-talking customer at the bookstore. This will be a little challenging, but don't worry, we will go step by step. It is a busy afternoon at the bookstore. The sun is shining outside and many people are walking on the streets. Emily is arranging books on the shelves and she feels ready for anything. She has her notebook in her pocket and repeats quietly, small steps. Focus on key words. Listen carefully. These words help her feel calm. Suddenly, a young man walks in. He is carrying a bag and looks a little impatient. He says quickly, "Hi, do you have the new book by James Patterson? I saw it online, but I want it now. Also, can you recommend some other books like his? I read thrillers all the time, and I need something exciting." "Oh, and do you have a reading club or any event soon?" Emily feels a little nervous. His words come very fast. She thinks, "Oh no, that is too fast. I cannot understand everything." Her heart beats faster, but she remembers something important. Focus on key words. She listens again. James Patterson recommend thrillers, exciting reading club events. Slowly, she begins to understand the main idea. The customer wants a book, some recommendations, and information about events. Emily takes a deep breath. She smiles and says slowly, "Hello. Yes, we have the new book by James Patterson. I can also recommend some similar books. And our bookstore has a reading club." The customer smiles and nods. Emily feels a little more confident. She is speaking English in real life. She is trying, and that is important. She walks to the shelf to find the book. As she walks, she repeats the key words in her head. James Patterson thriller, recommend reading club events. Repeating words quietly helps her remember and focus. She finds the book and brings it to the customer. "Here's the book you want," she says slowly. "James Patterson, the new one." The customer smiles. "Great. Thank you. Can you recommend other books like this?" Emily thinks carefully. She remembers the words she learned yesterday. Interesting, enjoyed, favorite, tried, understood. Slowly, she says, "Yes. If you like thrillers, you can try books by Agatha Christie or Dan Brown. They are exciting and interesting." The customer nods. "Perfect. That is exactly what I need." Now, the customer asks another question. "Do you have a reading club soon? I want to join and meet other readers." Emily takes a moment. She repeats the key words in her mind. Reading club, soon join, meet readers. Then she says slowly, "Yes. Our bookstore has a reading club every Thursday at 5 p.m. You are welcome to join." The customer smiles again. "Thank you. That is very helpful. Emily feels proud. She thinks, even though I did not understand every word, I helped the customer. That is enough. That is progress. And this is a very important lesson for today. You do not need to understand every word in a conversation. Focus on the main idea and key words. Respond politely. Small steps lead to success. After the customer leaves, Emily sits for a short break. She opens her notebook and writes the new word she heard. Thriller, exciting, recommend, join, meet. She repeats them slowly. Thriller, exciting, recommend, join, meet. This is very important for learning. Writing and repeating new words helps your memory. You can try this too. While Emily is writing, Tom walks into the bookstore. Hi, Emily.
How was your day? He asks.
Emily smiles. Hi, Tom. It was good, but today I had a fast-talking customer. At first, I was nervous, but I focused on key words and I could understand the main idea. I helped him, and he was happy. Tom nods. That is excellent.
You see?
Listening carefully
Works.
You don't need to understand every word. Focus on key ideas and respond politely. Emily thinks about this. She remembers her first days learning English. She felt nervous, confused, and sometimes wanted to give up. But now, she feels more confident. She understands that listening is a skill that grows with practice. Small steps every day make a big difference. After a short break, Emily decides to practice one more thing. She takes a small recorder from her bag and plays a sentence she recorded yesterday. I like reading books in English. It helps me improve my listening and speaking. She repeats it slowly, word by word. I like reading books in English. It helps me improve my listening and speaking. Then she listens again. This is called shadowing. Shadowing helps you speak English naturally and improve your pronunciation. Later, Emily organizes the bookstore. A new customer comes in and asks her a simple question. Hi, do you have a small notebook? Emily smiles. She listens carefully. Keywords, small notebook. She answers slowly. Yes, we have small notebooks. Here you go. The customer smiles. Thank you. Emily thinks, wow, I can understand and respond. This feels good. Now, let's pause for a short listening practice. I will say a sentence slowly, and you try to understand the main idea. Repeat after me. Emily helped a fast-talking customer. She listened carefully. She understood the main idea. She responded politely. Very good. You can also write this in your notebook. This helps your memory. As the day ends, Emily reflects on her experience. She thinks about the lessons she learned. Listen carefully. Focus on key words. Repeat important phrases. Respond politely, and do not worry about every word. Each conversation is a chance to practice. Each small success builds confidence. I'm Sarah, and today we continue Emily's journey. If you remember, in the last section, Emily faced a fast-talking customer at the bookstore. She focused on key words, responded politely, and felt proud. Today, Emily will learn a new English expression and practice using it naturally in conversation. Are you ready? Let's begin. It is a quiet morning at the bookstore. Emily is arranging books on the shelves, thinking about yesterday. She remembers the fast-talking customer and smiles. I am improving slowly, she says to herself. She checks her notebook. New words today. Recommend thrilling, exciting, join, meet. Emily feels ready for a new challenge. Suddenly, Mrs. Lee, her manager, comes to Emily. She smiles and says, "Good morning, Emily. Today, I want you to help a special customer. He uses English differently with expressions you might not know. It will be a good practice for you." Emily nods. "Yes, Mrs. Lee. I am ready. I will try my best." A few minutes later, the customer arrives. He is an older man, speaking calmly but with a natural, native tone. He greets Emily. "Good morning. I was wondering if you could help me. I'm looking for a book that really hits the nail on the head. Something thrilling, something that will keep me reading all night." Emily pauses. She thinks, hits the nail on the head. I do not know this expression. What does it mean? She feels a little nervous, but she remembers a key lesson. It is okay not to understand everything. Focus on what you do understand. Keywords: book, thrilling, reading all night. Slowly, she smiles. Okay, I think he wants an exciting book. Emily asks politely, "Excuse me, sir, do you like thrillers?" The man nods.
Yes.
"I love thrillers. I want something exciting and very good." Emily thinks about the books she knows. She says slowly, "We have books by Agatha Christie or Dan Brown. They are very exciting. You might like them." The man smiles. "Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. You understand very well." Now, Emily feels curious. She asks politely, "Sir, what do you mean hits the nail on the head?" The man laughs softly. "Ah, that is an English expression. It means something is exactly right. For example, if a book is perfect for me, I can say it hits the nail on the head." Emily repeats slowly in her mind, "Hits the nail on the head, exactly right, perfect." She writes it in her notebook. "Hits the nail on the head, something exactly right." She repeats it aloud. "Hits the nail on the head, hits the nail on the head." Very good. Repeating new expressions slowly helps your brain remember. The man continues, "This expression is very useful. You can use it in many situations. For example, if someone gives you advice and it is very good, you can say, 'That advice hits the nail on the head.' Or if a movie is perfect, you can say, 'This movie hits the nail on the head.'" Emily listens carefully and nods. She repeats slowly, "That advice hits the nail on the head. This movie hits the nail on the head." Excellent. After this, Emily decides to practice with the customer. She asks politely, "Sir, I like books too. I think this book hits the nail on the head for you." The man smiles broadly. "Exactly, Emily. You said it perfectly." Emily feels proud. She thinks, "Wow, I can use new expressions. I am learning something new every day." Later, Emily takes a short break and opens her notebook. She writes the new expression again. "Hits the nail on the head, exactly right, perfect." Then she writes some examples. "The advice hits the nail on the head. This movie hits the nail on the head. My plan hits the nail on the head." She repeats each sentence slowly. Shadowing is very important for learning expressions naturally. While Emily is practicing, Tom walks into the bookstore. "Hi, Emily. How is your day?" he asks. Emily smiles. "Hi, Tom. I just learned a new expression. It is hits the nail on the head." I used it with a customer, and he said it was perfect. Tom laughs. That is excellent. Expressions are very useful. They make your English sound natural. Keep practicing. Emily nods. Yes, I will. I want to use it every day. Now, let's do a short listening practice. Repeat after me slowly. Hits the nail on the head. Something is exactly right. The advice hits the nail on the head. The movie hits the nail on the head. Very good. Try to say it again with a smile. This will help you remember it better. After lunch, Emily organizes books again. A new customer comes in and asks, "Hi, can you recommend a book for me? I want something very good, really perfect." Emily thinks. She remembers the expression. She smiles and says slowly, "I think this book hits the nail on the head. It is thrilling and exciting." The customer nods. Yes, that is exactly what I wanted. Thank you. Emily feels happy. She thinks, wow, I am using new expressions naturally. I am learning real English step by step. And this is the important lesson for today. Learning new expressions is not about memorizing. It is about understanding, practicing, and using them in real conversations. Later, Emily meets Anna in the park. She tells her friend about the new expression. Anna, I learned something new today. The expression is hits the nail on the head. It means exactly right or perfect. I used it with a customer. Anna smiles. That is great, Emily. You are improving very fast. Expressions make your English sound natural. Keep using them. Emily repeats the expression again. Hits the nail on the head. Exactly right. Perfect. She writes a few more examples in her notebook. Her answer hits the nail on the head. My plan hits the nail on the head. This story hits the nail on the head. She repeats them slowly, shadowing each sentence. Before we finish section 4, let's do a short comprehension practice. I will ask you a few questions and try to answer in your mind. First question, what does hits the nail on the head mean? Pause. Yes. It means exactly right or perfect. Second question, can Emily use this expression with customers? Pause. Yes. She can use it naturally. Third question, how can you practice new expressions? Pause. Yes. Write them, repeat them slowly, and use them in conversations. Emily smiles as the day ends. I'm Sarah, and today we continue Emily's journey. If you remember from the last section, Emily learned a new English expression, hits the nail on the head. She used it naturally with customers and practiced with her friend Anna. Today, Emily will face a new challenge, responding to questions quickly while staying calm. Are you ready? Let's begin. It is a busy morning at the bookstore. Emily is arranging books and thinking about her goals for the day. She says quietly to herself, "Today, I will listen carefully, respond politely, and stay calm." Small steps every day. This helps her feel confident and ready for anything. A few minutes later, a young woman walks into the bookstore. She looks friendly, but speaks very fast. Hi, can you help me? I'm looking for a book about travel in Europe. I also want some advice on learning English while traveling. Oh, and can you tell me if there are any language classes nearby? I really want to improve quickly. Emily feels nervous at first. The words come very fast and she thinks, oh no, I cannot understand everything. But then she remembers what she has learned before. Focus on key words. Listen for the main idea. Respond politely.
Take small steps.
She repeats quietly in her mind. Travel. Europe, advice, language classes, improve quickly. Slowly, she begins to understand what the customer wants. Emily smiles and says slowly, "Hello. You want a book about Europe and advice about learning English and language classes?" The customer nods quickly.
Yes.
That is right. Can you help me? Emily takes a deep breath. Yes, I can try. Let me show you the books. She walks to the travel section and points to a few books. These books are about Europe. They have maps and stories of different countries. You can learn about the places while reading. The customer smiles. That is perfect.
Thank you.
And what about learning English while traveling? Emily thinks carefully. She repeats key words in her head. Learning English, traveling, advice, improve quickly. Slowly, she says, when you travel, try to speak English with people. Listen to English every day. You can read signs, menus, and books. This helps you improve. The customer nods. Oh, that is very helpful. Thank you. Now, the customer asks another question. Are there language classes near here? I want to practice speaking. Emily pauses. She repeats key words in her head. Language classes, practice speaking. Then she responds slowly. Yes.
There is a small school nearby.
They have English classes every Monday and Wednesday. You can join if you want. The customer smiles. That is great. I will check it out. Emily feels proud. She thinks, even though the questions were fast, I listened carefully, focused on key words, and responded politely. This is progress. And this is an important lesson for today. When someone speaks fast, stay calm. Focus on the main idea. Respond politely. Small steps make a big difference. After the customer leaves, Emily takes a short break and writes new words in her notebook. Travel, Europe, advice, practice classes. She repeats them slowly. Travel, Europe, advice, practice classes. This helps her remember and use them later. Later, Emily meets Anna in the park. She tells her friend about the busy customer. Anna, today a customer spoke very fast. At first, I was nervous, but I listened for keywords and responded slowly. It worked. Anna smiles. That is excellent, Emily.
You see?
Focus, calmness, and listening carefully are very important. Fast English can be understood with practice. Emily nods. She thinks about her journey. At first, she was nervous about speaking English. She worried about mistakes. But now, she understands. Small steps, listening carefully, repeating key words, and staying calm help you improve. Every conversation is a chance to learn. Now, let's do a short listening and speaking practice. Repeat after me slowly. I listen carefully. I focus on key words. I respond politely. I stay calm. Small steps every day help me improve. Very good. Try saying it twice more with confidence. This simple practice helps your brain remember these important habits. Later in the day, Emily organizes books again. A young boy asks her quickly, "Hi,
Can you help me?
I need a book for school. It should be about science. Also, dinosaurs and experiments, something easy to read." Emily smiles. She repeats key words in her mind. Science, dinosaurs, experiments, easy to read. Then she says slowly, "Sure, I think these books are good for you. They have science experiments and dinosaurs. They are easy to read." The boy smiles. "Thank you. You are very helpful." Emily feels happy. She writes the new words in her notebook. Science, dinosaurs, experiments, easy. She repeats them slowly. Science, dinosaurs, experiments, easy. She thinks, each new conversation teaches me something. Small steps every day make progress. Before we finish section 5, let's do a short review. Repeat after me slowly. I listen carefully. I focus on key words. I respond politely. I stay calm. Small steps help me improve. Excellent. Remember, these sentences are very simple, but they help you develop listening and speaking skills naturally. Emily smiles as the day ends. She feels proud of herself. She knows that each small step, listening, responding, using new words, is a part of her journey. I'm Sarah, and today we continue Emily's journey. If you remember, in the last section, Emily learned to respond quickly while staying calm. Today, Emily will face more challenging questions with new vocabulary and expressions. This will help her improve her listening, comprehension, and confidence. Are you ready? Let's begin. It is a sunny afternoon at the bookstore. Emily is arranging books on the shelves, thinking about her day. She whispers to herself, I am ready to listen carefully. I will focus on key words. I will respond politely. These words help her feel calm and confident. Soon, a young woman enters the bookstore. She speaks naturally and a little quickly. Hi, I'm looking for a book that explains science experiments clearly. I also want a guide for beginners in chemistry and physics.
And oh,
Can you suggest something fun to read in the evenings? I like stories and adventures too. Emily feels a little nervous. The words are coming fast and she thinks, oh no, this is difficult. But she remembers the lesson. Focus on key words.
take small steps. Stay calm.
She repeats quietly in her mind. Science experiments, beginners, chemistry, physics, fun, stories, adventures. Slowly, she begins to understand what the customer wants. Emily smiles and responds slowly. Hello. You want a book about science experiments and a guide for beginners in chemistry and physics and something fun to read in the evening. The customer nods quickly.
Yes.
That is right. Can you help me? Emily takes a deep breath and walks to the science section. She points to a few books. These books have easy science experiments. They are good for beginners in chemistry and physics. The customer smiles. Great. And what about something fun in the evenings? Emily thinks carefully. She remembers the fiction section. Slowly, she says, you can try these adventure stories. They are exciting and fun to read in the evenings. The customer nods. Perfect. Thank you very much. Now, Emily hears a new expression from the customer. The woman says, I really want a book that is a page-turner. Something that grabs my attention immediately. Emily pauses. She thinks, page-turner. I do not know this expression. She repeats quietly in her mind. Page-turner grabs attention immediately. Slowly, she realizes the meaning. A page-turner is a book that is very exciting and hard to stop reading. Emily writes the expression in her notebook. Page turner. An exciting book you cannot stop reading. She repeats slowly. Page turner, grabs attention, exciting book. Very good. Repeating new expressions helps your brain remember them. Emily decides to practice using the new expression. She says politely to the customer, I think this adventure book is a page turner. It is exciting and fun. You will enjoy it. The customer smiles broadly. Exactly. That is what I was looking for. Thank you for your help. Emily feels proud. She thinks, wow, I learned a new expression and used it naturally. This is real progress. After the customer leaves, Emily takes a short break. She opens her notebook and writes all the new words and expressions she learned today. Science experiments, beginners, chemistry, physics, adventure, page turner. She repeats them slowly. Science experiments, beginners, chemistry, physics, adventure, page turner. This helps her remember and use them in future conversations. Later, Emily meets Anna in the park. She tells her friend about the new expression. Anna, I learned something new today. The expression is page turner. It means an exciting book you cannot stop reading. I used it with a customer and she smiled. Anna laughs. That is fantastic, Emily. You are improving every day. Using expressions in real life makes your English sound natural. Keep practicing. Emily repeats the expression again. Page turner, exciting book grabs attention, cannot stop reading. She writes a few more example sentences. This story is a page turner. The mystery book is a page turner. My favorite novel is a page turner. She repeats them slowly, shadowing each sentence. Now, let's do a short listening and comprehension practice. I will say a few sentences slowly, and you try to understand the main idea. Repeat after me. Emily learned the expression page turner. It means an exciting book. She used it with a customer. The customer was happy. Very good. You can also write these sentences in your notebook. Writing helps you remember new words and expressions. Later in the afternoon, a young boy comes to the bookstore. He speaks quickly and asks Emily, Hi, can you recommend a book about dinosaurs? I like science and adventure. Also, something fun to do experiments at home. Emily smiles. She repeats key words in her mind. Dinosaurs, science, adventure, experiments, fun. Then she responds slowly. Sure. These books have dinosaurs and fun science experiments. You can try them at home. The boy smiles. Thank you. This is perfect. Emily feels happy. She writes the new words in her notebook. Dinosaurs, experiments, fun, adventure, page turner. She repeats them slowly. Dinosaurs, experiments, fun, adventure, page turner. She thinks, each new conversation teaches me something. Small steps every day make progress. Before we finish section 6, let's do a short review. Repeat after me slowly. I listen carefully. I focus on key words. I respond politely. I learn new words and expressions. Small steps every day help me improve. Excellent. Keep practicing these sentences. They're simple but very powerful. Emily smiles as the day ends. She feels proud of herself. She knows that each small step, listening carefully, learning new words, using expressions, is helping her become a better English speaker. I'm Sarah, and today we continue Emily's journey. If you remember, in the last section, Emily learned the expression page turner and practiced understanding new vocabulary. Today, she will face a real challenge, a conversation that combines fast speech, new words, and new expressions all at once. This is a big step, but don't worry, we will go slowly step by step. Are you ready? Let's begin. It is a bright morning at the bookstore. Emily is arranging books on the shelves, feeling confident after her recent successes. She whispers quietly, "Today I will focus, listen carefully, and respond politely. I can do it." This simple routine helps her feel calm. Suddenly, a young man enters the store. He speaks very fast, almost as if he is in a hurry.
Hi, can you help me?
I need a book on photography. Also, I want something inspirational about travel and life. Oh, and can you tell me if the bookstore has any workshops or events soon? I also need tips for taking great pictures outdoors. And, do you have books that are really page turners? You know, exciting stories I can't put down. Emily feels a little nervous. The words come quickly and she thinks, "Wow, this is fast. There are so many things to understand." But she remembers her lessons. Focus on key words.
Take small steps. Stay calm. Respond politely.
She repeats quietly in her mind. Photography, inspirational, travel, workshops, tips, page turner, exciting stories. Slowly, she begins to understand the main idea. The customer wants books on photography, inspirational travel, tips for outdoor photography, workshops, and exciting books. Emily smiles and responds slowly, "Hello. You want a book on photography and inspirational books about travel and tips for photography and information about workshops and exciting books." The customer nods quickly.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Can you help me? Emily takes a deep breath and walks to the photography section. She points to a few books. These books have photography tips for beginners and outdoor pictures. They are very helpful. The customer smiles. Great. And what about inspirational travel books? Emily thinks carefully. She remembers books from the travel section. Slowly, she says, "These books are about travel and life. They have real stories and advice. You may enjoy them." The customer nods. Now the customer asks another question, speaking fast again. "Do you have workshops or events soon? I want to learn more about photography and meet other people who like it." Emily pauses. She repeats key words in her mind. Workshops, events, learn photography, meet people. Then she responds slowly. "Yes. Our bookstore has workshops every Saturday at 4 p.m. You can join and meet other photography lovers." The customer smiles broadly. Perfect. That is very helpful. Emily feels a little more confident. Then the customer asks, "And do you have exciting stories, really page turners?" "I want books I cannot put down." Emily smiles. She remembers the expression she learned. Page turner, an exciting book you cannot stop reading. Slowly, she says, "Yes. These adventure stories are page turners. They are very exciting, and you cannot put them down." The customer nods. "Exactly. That is what I wanted. Thank you so much." Emily feels proud. She thinks, even though the conversation was fast and had many new words, I listened carefully, focused on keywords, and responded politely. This is real progress. And this is the important lesson for today. When conversations are long and fast, Focus on keywords, stay calm, and respond step by step. You do not need to understand everything at once. After the customer leaves, Emily writes new words and expressions in her notebook. Photography, inspirational, tips, workshops, outdoor, page-turner, exciting stories. She repeats them slowly. Photography, inspirational, tips, workshops, outdoor, page-turner, exciting stories. Writing and repeating helps her remember. Later, Emily meets Anna in the park. She tells her friend about the challenging customer. Anna, today a customer spoke very fast and asked about many things at once. I listened for keywords and responded slowly. It worked. Anna smiles. That is excellent, Emily. You see, even difficult conversations can be managed with focus and calmness. Listening carefully is the key. Emily nods. She thinks about her journey. At first, she was nervous about speaking English, afraid of fast speech, and worried about mistakes. Now she understands. Small steps, listening carefully, using keywords, and staying calm help you manage any conversation. Now, let's do a short listening and speaking practice. Repeat after me slowly. I listen carefully. I focus on keywords. I respond step by step. I stay calm. I can understand fast conversations. Very good. Try saying it twice more, slowly and clearly. Shadowing helps your brain remember and use these phrases naturally. Later in the day, Emily helps another customer. The customer asks quickly, "Hi, can you recommend a good novel for teenagers? Something exciting, with adventure and mystery." Emily repeats key words in her mind. Good novel, teenagers, exciting, adventure, mystery. Then she responds slowly. Sure. These novels are for teenagers. They have adventure and mystery. They are very exciting. The customer smiles. Thank you. That is perfect. Emily writes the new words in her notebook. Novel, teenagers, adventure, mystery, exciting. She repeats them slowly. Novel, teenagers, adventure, mystery, exciting. She thinks, every conversation teaches me something new. Small steps every day help me improve. I'm Sarah, and today we continue Emily's journey. If you remember, in the last section, Emily handled a fast and complicated conversation with many questions. Today, she will face a new challenge, a group conversation. She will listen to multiple speakers at once, understand key words, and respond naturally. Are you ready? Let's begin. It is a warm afternoon at the bookstore. Emily is arranging books on the shelves, thinking about her recent successes. She whispers quietly, I am ready to listen carefully. I will focus on key words. I will respond politely. I can do this. This mindset helps her feel calm and confident. Soon, a small group of friends enters the bookstore. They're chatting with each other and speaking at the same time. Hi, can you help us? One of them asks.
Yes.
We're looking for books about travel, adventure, and learning English abroad, says another quickly. And do you have tips for learning languages faster? I really want to improve my English this year, adds a third friend. Emily feels a little nervous. The words come fast, and many ideas are spoken at once. She thinks, wow, this is challenging. There are 3 people, and each is asking different things. But she remembers her lessons. Focus on key words.
Take small steps.
Listen for the main ideas. Respond politely. She repeats quietly in her mind. Travel adventure. Learning English tips improve English books. Slowly, she begins to understand the main ideas. Emily smiles and responds slowly. Hello. You want books about traveled adventure and learning English abroad and tips for learning English faster? The group nods.
Yes.
That is right. Can you help us? Emily takes a deep breath and walks to the travel and language sections. She points to some books. These books are about travel in different countries. They have stories, pictures, and tips for learning English. You may enjoy them. One friend asks quickly, do they have real stories from people who traveled? Emily nods.
Yes.
They have real stories and advice. You can read and learn from their experiences. Another friend asks, and what about tips for learning English faster? I want to speak better quickly. Emily thinks carefully. She repeats key words in her mind. Tips, learning English, speak better quickly. Slowly, she responds. To learn faster, listen to English every day. Speak with friends. Read books and try new words. Practice little by little every day. The friends nod. Thank you. That is very helpful. Now, a third friend asks another question. Do you have books that are page-turners? Exciting stories we cannot put down. Emily smiles. She remembers the expression she learned before. Page-turner, an exciting book you cannot stop reading. She points to some adventure novels.
Yes.
These adventure books are page-turners. They're exciting and fun. You cannot put them down. The friends laugh and nod. Perfect. That is exactly what we wanted. Thank you so much. Emily feels proud. She thinks, even though 3 people were speaking at once, I listened carefully, focused on key words, and responded politely. I helped them. This is real progress. And this is the important lesson for today. In a group conversation, do not try to understand every single word. Focus on key words, main ideas, and respond step by step. Small steps make big progress. After the group leaves, Emily writes new words and expressions in her notebook. Group conversation, tips, practice, experience, page-turner, exciting stories. She repeats them slowly. Group conversation, tips, practice, experience, page-turner, exciting stories. Writing and repeating helps her remember and use them in future conversations. Later, Emily meets Anna in the park. She tells her friend about the group conversation. Anna, today 3 friends asked questions at the same time. At first, it was very fast, but I listened carefully, focused on keywords, and answered slowly. It worked. Anna smiles. That is excellent, Emily.
You see?
Group conversations can be understood with focus and calmness. Listening carefully is the key. Emily nods. She thinks about her journey. At first, she felt nervous about English conversations, afraid of fast speech, and confused when many people spoke at once. Now she understands. Small steps, listening carefully, using keywords, and staying calm help you understand even group conversations. Now, let's do a short listening and speaking practice. Repeat after me slowly. I listen carefully. I focus on key words. I respond step by step. I stay calm. I can understand group conversations. Very good. Try saying it twice more, slowly and clearly. Shadowing helps your brain remember these phrases naturally. Later in the day, Emily helps another group of young students. They speak quickly and ask, "Hi, can you recommend books about science experiments, space, and mysteries? And fun activities we can do at home?" Emily repeats key words in her mind: science experiments, space, mysteries, fun activities, home. Then she responds slowly, "Sure. These books are about science experiments and space. They have fun activities you can do at home. You will enjoy them." The students smile. "Thank you. This is perfect." Emily writes the new words in her notebook: space, mysteries, activities, home, science experiments. She repeats them slowly: space, mysteries, activities, home, science experiments. She thinks, every conversation teaches me something. Small steps every day help me improve. Before we finish section 8, let's do a short review. Repeat after me slowly. I listen carefully. I focus on key words. I respond politely. I stay calm. Small steps every day help me improve. I can understand group conversations. Excellent. Keep practicing these sentences every day. They are simple but very powerful. Emily smiles as the day ends. She feels proud. She knows that each small step, listening carefully, learning new words, using expressions, staying calm, is helping her become a better English speaker. And this is the final lesson of Section 8. Even in group conversations, focusing on keywords and main ideas allows you to understand and respond naturally. Thank you for listening with me today. You did an amazing job. I'm Sarah, and today we continue Emily's journey. If you remember, in the last section, Emily practiced understanding multiple speakers in a group conversation. Today, she will face a new challenge: a conversation with mixed fast speech, new vocabulary, and expressions all at once. This is one of the biggest steps in real-life English practice. But don't worry, we will go slowly and carefully. Are you ready? Let's begin. It is late afternoon at the bookstore, and Emily is arranging the new arrivals on the shelves. She whispers quietly, "I am ready. I will focus on key words, listen carefully, and respond politely. I can handle any conversation." These words help her feel calm and confident. Suddenly, a family of 4 enters the store. They start speaking quickly, each person asking questions at the same time. "Hi, can you help us?" says the father.
Yes.
"We want books about animals and nature," adds the mother. "And, stories that are really page-turners," says the older child. "I want tips for drawing and art too," says the younger child. Emily feels a little nervous. She thinks, wow, so many people, so many questions, fast speech, new expressions. But she remembers her lessons. Focus on key words.
Take small steps. Stay calm.
Respond politely. She repeats quietly in her mind: books, animals, nature, page-turners, drawing, art tips. Slowly, she begins to understand the main ideas. The family wants books about animals and nature, exciting stories, page-turners, and drawing/art tips. Emily smiles and responds slowly, "Hello. You want books about animals and nature, exciting stories that are page-turners, and tips for drawing and art." The family nods.
Yes.
That is right. Can you help us? Emily takes a deep breath and walks to the animal and nature section. She points to a few books. These books are about animals and nature. They have pictures and stories about animals in the wild. You may enjoy them. The mother asks quickly, do they have real-life stories? Emily nods.
Yes.
These books have real-life stories about animals. You can read and learn from them. Then the older child asks another question. And do you have stories that are page-turners? Really exciting ones we cannot put down. Emily smiles. She remembers the expression, page-turner, an exciting book you cannot stop reading. Slowly, she says, yes. These adventure stories are page-turners. They are very exciting and fun. You cannot put them down. The child nods and smiles. The younger child asks quickly, and what about tips for drawing and art? I want to learn fast and improve. Emily repeats key words in her mind. Tips drawing, art improve. She responds slowly. Sure. These books have easy drawing and art tips. You can practice at home. Little by little, you will improve. The child nods excitedly. Emily feels proud. She thinks, even though 4 people were speaking at once with fast questions, new vocabulary and expressions, I listened carefully, focused on keywords, and responded politely. This is real progress. And this is the important lesson for today. When conversations are fast and mixed, focus on the main ideas, respond step by step, and do not try to understand everything at once. After the family leaves, Emily writes new words and expressions in her notebook. Animals, nature, page-turners, drawing, art, tips, practice, improve. She repeats them slowly. Animals, nature, page-turners, drawing, art, tips, practice, improve. Writing and repeating helps her remember and use them in future conversations. Later, Emily meets Anna in the park. She tells her friend about the family conversation. Anna, today 4 people asked questions very fast. I listened carefully, focused on key words, and answered slowly. It worked. Anna smiles. That is excellent, Emily.
You see?
Even mixed conversations can be managed with focus and calmness. Listening carefully and using key words is the key. Emily nods. She thinks about her journey. At first, she felt nervous about English conversations, afraid of fast speech, and confused by new words and expressions. Now she understands. Small steps, listening carefully, using keywords, and staying calm help you understand even mixed conversations. Now, let's do a short listening and speaking practice. Repeat after me slowly. I listen carefully. I focus on key words. I respond step by step. I stay calm. I can understand fast and mixed conversations. Very good. Try saying it twice more, slowly and clearly. Shadowing helps your brain remember these phrases naturally. Later in the day, Emily helps another customer who speaks quickly. Hi, I need books about space, planets, and astronomy. And do you have exciting stories that are page-turners? I also want tips for science experiments at home. Emily repeats. Key words in her mind. Space, planets, astronomy, page-turners, tips, science experiments. Then she responds slowly. Sure. These books are about space and planets. They're very interesting. These adventure stories are page-turners. They are exciting. And these books have science experiment tips you can try at home. The customer smiles. Thank you. That is perfect. Emily writes the new words in her notebook. Space, planets, astronomy, science experiments, page-turners, tips. She repeats them slowly. Space, planets, astronomy, science experiments, page-turners, tips. She thinks, every conversation teaches me something. Small steps every day help me improve. Hi, friends. Welcome back to our English listening practice. I'm Sarah, and today we continue Emily's journey. If you remember, in the last section, Emily handled mixed fast speech with new vocabulary and expressions. Today, she will face a new challenge, a conversation covering multiple topics at once. This is a real-life skill that will help her improve listening, comprehension, and speaking naturally. Are you ready? Let's begin. It is a busy late afternoon at the bookstore. Emily is arranging new arrivals on the shelves, thinking about her day. She whispers quietly, I am ready. I will focus on key words, listen carefully, and respond politely. I can manage multiple topics. This mindset helps her feel calm and confident. Suddenly, a young couple enters the store. They begin speaking quickly. Hi, can you help us? Says the woman. Yes. We want books about cooking and recipes, says the man. And can you suggest something for learning English idioms and expressions? Adds the woman. Oh, and we also like adventure stories that are page-turners, says the man. Emily feels a little nervous. She thinks, wow, cooking, English expressions, adventure stories, so many topics, fast speech. But she remembers her lessons. Focus on key words.
Take small steps. Stay calm.
Respond politely. She repeats quietly in her mind. Cooking recipes. English expressions, idioms, adventure, page-turners. Slowly, she begins to understand the main ideas. Emily smiles and responds slowly. Hello. You want books about cooking and recipes, books for learning English expressions and idioms, and adventure stories that are page-turners. The couple nods.
Yes.
That is right. Can you help us? Emily takes a deep breath and walks to the cooking section. She points to a few books. These books are about cooking and recipes. They have easy instructions and tips for beginners. You may enjoy them. The woman asks quickly, do they have international recipes? Emily nods.
Yes.
They have recipes from many countries. You can try them at home. Then, the couple moves to the English learning section. The man asks, do you have books for learning English expressions and idioms? Emily repeats key words in her mind. English expressions, idioms, learning. Slowly, she responds, yes. These books have English expressions and idioms. They explain them with examples. You can read and practice. The couple smiles. Great. That is very helpful. Now, the man asks, and do you have adventure stories that are page-turners? Really exciting books we cannot put down. Emily smiles. She remembers the expression. Page-turner, an exciting book you cannot stop reading. Slowly, she says, yes. These adventure stories are page-turners. They are exciting and fun. You cannot put them down. The couple nods happily. Emily feels proud. She thinks, even though the conversation covered multiple topics, I listened carefully, focused on keywords, and responded politely. This is real progress. And this is the important lesson for today. When conversations cover multiple topics, focus on the main ideas, respond step by step, and do not try to understand everything at once. After the couple leaves, Emily writes new words and expressions in her notebook. Cooking, recipes, international, idioms, expressions, adventure, page turners. She repeats them slowly. Cooking, recipes, international, idioms, expressions, adventure, page turners. Writing and repeating helps her remember and use them in future conversations. Later, Emily meets Anna in the park. She tells her friend about the multiple topic conversation. Anna, today a couple asked about cooking, English expressions, and adventure stories, all in one conversation. I listened carefully, focused on keywords, and answered slowly. It worked. Anna smiles. That is excellent, Emily.
You see?
Conversations with multiple topics can be understood with focus, calmness, and step-by-step responses. Listening carefully is the key. Emily nods. She thinks about her journey. At first, she felt nervous about English conversations, afraid of fast speech, and overwhelmed by multiple topics. Now she understands. Small steps, listening carefully, using keywords, and staying calm help you manage any conversation. Now, let's do a short listening and speaking practice. Repeat after me slowly. I listen carefully. I focus on keywords. I respond step by step. I stay calm. I can manage multiple topics in one conversation. Very good. Try saying it twice more, slowly and clearly. Shadowing helps your brain remember these phrases naturally. Later in the day, Emily helps another customer who speaks quickly. Hi, I need books about science, space, and astronomy. Also, tips for fun experiments at home. Oh, and can you recommend some page-turner stories? Emily repeats key words in her mind. Science, space, astronomy, experiments, page turners. Then she responds slowly. Sure. These books are about science and space. They have experiments you can try at home. And these adventure stories are page turners. They are exciting and fun. The customer smiles. Thank you. That is perfect. Emily writes the new words in her notebook. Science, space, astronomy, experiments, page turners, adventure. She repeats them slowly. Science, space, astronomy, experiments, page turners, adventure. She thinks, every conversation teaches me something. Small steps every day help me improve. Hi, friends. Welcome back to our English listening practice. I'm Sarah, and today we continue Emily's journey. If you remember, in the last section, Emily handled conversations covering multiple topics. Today, she will face a new challenge: complex questions with idioms and fast speech. This is one of the most important steps for real-life English. Don't worry. We will go slowly and carefully. Are you ready? Let's begin. It is a busy evening at the bookstore, and Emily is organizing the shelves. She whispers quietly, I am ready. I will focus on key words, listen carefully, and respond politely. I can handle complex conversations. This mindset helps her feel calm and confident. Suddenly, a young man enters the store. He speaks very quickly and uses expressions Emily has not heard before. Hi, I'm looking for books that really knock your socks off. I mean, something exciting and adventurous. Also, I want books with real-life stories, lessons about life, and maybe tips to step up my creativity. Oh, and do you have any guides that help me hit the ground running with new skills? Emily feels a little nervous. She thinks, wow, fast speech, expressions, idioms, so many new words. But she remembers her lessons. Focus on key words. Take small steps.
Stay calm.
Respond politely. She repeats quietly in her mind. Exciting, adventurous, real-life stories, a lessons, creativity, guides, hit the ground running. Slowly, she begins to understand the main ideas. The customer wants exciting and adventurous books, real-life stories with life lessons, tips for creativity, and guides to learn new skills quickly. Emily smiles and responds slowly. Hello. You want books that are exciting and adventurous or real-life stories with life lessons, tips for creativity, and guides to learn new skills quickly? The customer nods.
Yes, that is exactly right.
Can you help me? Emily takes a deep breath and walks to the adventure section. She points to some books. These books are exciting and adventurous. They have stories that keep you interested and are fun to read. The customer nods enthusiastically. Perfect. That is exactly what I need. Then the customer asks quickly, and do you have real-life stories that teach lessons about life? Emily repeats key words in her mind. Real-life stories, a lessons, a life. Slowly, she responds, yes. These books have real stories and teach important lessons. You can read and learn from them. The customer smiles. Great. That is very helpful. Next, the customer asks another question, speaking fast. Do you have tips to step up my creativity? Emily repeats key words in her mind. Tips, step up, creativity. Slowly, she says, yes. These books have tips to improve creativity. They give exercises and ideas to practice at home. The customer nods happily. Now, the customer uses a new idiom and guides that help me hit the ground running. Emily pauses. She thinks, hit the ground running. I do not know this idiom. She repeats quietly in her mind, hit the ground running, guides new skills quickly. Slowly, she realizes the meaning. It means to start something quickly and effectively. Emily writes the idiom in her notebook. Hit the ground running, start something quickly and effectively. She repeats slowly, hit the ground running, start quickly, start effectively. Then she responds naturally to the customer. Yes. These guides help you hit the ground running. You can start learning new skills quickly and effectively. The customer smiles broadly. Exactly. That is what I was looking for. Thank you very much. Emily feels proud. She thinks, even though the conversation was fast and had complex questions and idioms, I listened carefully, focused on key words, and responded politely. I used a new idiom correctly. This is real progress. And this is the important lesson for today. When conversations are complex, focus on key words, understand expressions and idioms, and respond step by step. You do not need to understand everything at once. After the customer leaves, Emily writes new words and expressions in her notebook. Adventurous, real-life stories, lessons, creativity, guides, hit the ground running. She repeats them slowly. Adventurous, real-life stories, lessons, creativity, guides hit the ground running. Writing and repeating helps her remember and use them in future conversations. Later, Emily meets Anna in the park. She tells her friend about the challenging conversation. Anna, today a customer spoke very fast and used expressions I did not know. I listened carefully, focused on key words, and used the idiom correctly. It worked. Anna smiles. That is excellent, Emily. You see, even complex conversations can be managed with focus, calmness, and step-by-step responses. Listening carefully and practicing idioms is the key. Emily nods. She thinks about her journey. At first, she felt nervous about English conversations, afraid of fast speech, and unsure about idioms. Now she understands. Small steps, listening carefully, using key words, learning new expressions, and staying calm help you handle complex conversations. Now, let's do a short listening and speaking practice. Repeat after me slowly. I listen carefully. I focus on key words. I respond step by step. I stay calm. I can understand fast speech and idioms. Very good. Try saying it twice more, slowly and clearly. Shadowing helps your brain remember these phrases naturally. Later in the day, Emily helps another customer who speaks quickly. Hi, can you recommend books about science, inventions, and problem solving? Also, books that help me think outside the box and hit the ground running with new projects. Emily repeats key words in her mind. Science, inventions, problem solving, think outside the box, hit the ground running. Then she responds slowly. Sure. These books are about science, inventions, and problem solving. They give ideas to think creatively and help you hit the ground running with new projects. The customer smiles. Thank you. That is perfect. Emily writes the new words and expressions in her notebook. Science, inventions, problem solving, think outside the box, hit the ground running. She repeats them slowly. Science, inventions, problem solving, think outside the box, hit the ground running. She thinks, every conversation teaches me something. Small steps every day help me improve. Hi, friends. Welcome back to our English listening practice. I'm Sarah, and today we reach the final part of Emily's journey. If you remember, in the last section, Emily handled complex questions with idioms and fast speech. Today, she will face the ultimate challenge, a real-life conversation that combines all the skills she has learned. Fast speech, multiple topics, new words, expressions, idioms, and keyword focus. This is her moment to practice everything she has learned. Are you ready? Let's begin. It is a bright morning at the bookstore. Emily is arranging the new arrivals, feeling a mixture of excitement and calmness. She whispers quietly, I am ready. I will focus on key words. I will listen carefully. I will respond politely. I can do this. These words help her feel confident and prepared. Suddenly, a group of 5 people enters the store. They begin speaking all at once. Hi, can you help us? Says the first.
Yes.
We're looking for books about cooking, science, and travel, adds the second. And do you have adventure stories that are page-turners? Says the third. I want tips for learning English idioms and expressions quickly, says the fourth. Oh, and guides to hit the ground running with new skills, says the fifth. Emily feels a little nervous. She thinks, wow, so many people, so many topics, fast speech, idioms, expressions, new words. but she remembers all her lessons. Focus on keywords. Take small steps.
Stay calm.
Respond politely. She repeats quietly in her mind. Cooking, science, travel, adventure, page turners. English idioms, expressions, hit the ground running skills. Slowly, she begins to understand the main ideas. Emily smiles and responds slowly. Hello. You want books about cooking, science, and travel, adventure stories that are page-turners, books for learning English idioms and expressions, and guides to hit the ground running with new skills. The group nods.
Yes.
That is exactly right. Can you help us? Emily takes a deep breath and walks to the cooking section first. She points to a few books. These books are about cooking. They have easy recipes and tips for beginners. You may enjoy them. The first two group members nod and smile. Next, Emily moves to the science section. These books are about science. They have experiments and ideas you can try at home. You can learn and have fun at the same time. The second person nods. Perfect. That is very helpful. Then she walks to the travel section. These books are about travel. They have pictures, stories, and tips for traveling around the world. You can read and learn from real experiences. The third person nods. Now the group asks about adventure stories. Emily points to some novels. These adventure stories are page-turners. They are exciting and fun. You cannot put them down. The group smiles excitedly. Next, the fourth person asks quickly, and books for learning English idioms and expressions? Emily repeats key words in her mind. English idioms, expressions, learning. Slowly, she responds, yes. These books have English idioms and expressions. They explain them with examples. You can read and practice every day. The group nods and smiles. Finally, the fifth person asks, and guides to hit the ground running with new skills? Emily pauses, thinks carefully, and remembers the idiom. Hit the ground running. Start something quickly and effectively. Slowly, she responds, yes. These guides help you hit the ground running. You can start learning new skills quickly and effectively. The fifth person smiles broadly. Exactly. That is what I was looking for. Thank you very much. Emily feels proud and a little emotional. She thinks, I did it. I listened carefully, focused on keywords, used expressions and idioms, responded step by step, and stayed calm. This is the result of all my practice and small steps every day. After the group leaves, Emily writes new words and expressions in her notebook. Cooking, science, travel, adventure, page-turners, idioms, expressions, hit the ground running skills. She repeats them slowly. Cooking, science, travel, adventure, page-turners, idioms, expressions, hit the ground running skills. Writing and repeating helps her remember and use them naturally in the future. Later, Emily meets Anna in the park. She tells her friend about the final challenge. Anna, today 5 people asked questions on many topics, spoke fast, and used idioms and expressions. I listened carefully, focused on keywords, and answered step by step. I did it. Anna smiles warmly. Emily, that is amazing.
You see?
All your practice, patience, and focus have paid off. You can manage real-life English conversations naturally now. Emily nods. She reflects on her journey. At first, she felt nervous, afraid of fast speech, confused by new words, idioms, and multiple topics. Now she understands small steps, listening carefully, using key words, learning expressions, practicing idioms, and staying calm help you improve every day. Practice makes progress. Now, let's do a short listening and speaking practice. Repeat after me slowly. I listen carefully. I focus on key words. I respond step by step. I stay calm. I can understand fast speech, idioms, expressions, and multiple topics. I can handle real-life conversations. Very good. Say it twice more, slowly and clearly. Shadowing helps your brain remember these phrases naturally. Emily smiles as the day ends. She feels proud. She knows that each small step, listening carefully, learning new words and idioms, practicing expressions, staying calm, has helped her become a better English speaker. And this is the final moral of Emily's journey. Even the most complicated conversations can be understood and handled with patience, focus, and small steps. Listening carefully, learning continuously, and practicing every day are the keys to success in English. Thank you for listening with me throughout Emily's journey. You have done an amazing job following along, practicing and learning. Remember, every small step counts, and every conversation is a chance to improve. Keep practicing, stay calm, and enjoy your English learning journey. See you in the next English listening practice. Bye-bye and keep going.